Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful, positive, productive, efficient, healthy, and peaceful Thursday. And hopefully, y'all got about 45 minutes to an hour to tap in with the kid, listen to the build, add on all that good stuff. Give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with me before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Y'all see the subject matter, man. We're going to deal with some politics. Y'all know how that go. Y'all pretty much know the perspective on that, man. So we gonna drill it home, drill the points home today. But what's the word, man? Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday before we tap in with this subject matter, man. Lindell, peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, for sure. Beast by Bless Zone out. Peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? How everybody living and feeling? Magic, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling, man? Y'all saw them Republicans debate. What was that yesterday? You know, when people be asking me about my perspective on the debates and things like that, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, why are we even still paying attention to this nonsense? Angelic peace. What's happening? What's the word? Hey, you on that lunch break? Hopefully that lunch break is well spent. Taking advantage of that. F love, fitness, peace. What's happening? Hey, for sure. Hey, for sure, my brother. Yeah, you would never hear me talk bad about the Africans, man. I one day plan to go somewhere over there, man, and set up shop because I feel like that's one of the keys for us reclaiming our position. We got to unite with all our brothers. You know, I never add to that division, man. I love my African brothers and sisters, man. I've had nothing but great relationships with my brothers and sisters from the motherland. So for sure, you know, and hey, I ain't even got a hope. I know I'll be well received in Nigeria. I've been told that by a client I've had over here that's from Nigeria. Hey, Magic, man, everything is peaceful for sure. Appreciate you asking. Hey, organization, that's key. That's what we got to do, black folks. We got to get organized. Angelic, exactly. You know, when a person asks me that, in my mind, I'm like, man, you already should know how I kind of view politics, but it is what it is, man. We fall for the same old okie doke every 4 years or so it doesn't really surprise me, you know. But I stay firm and solid in my stance. Like I've never wavered. You know, my political stance that I had 10 years ago, I still have it today. You know, so that wasn't a phase that I was going through because of the information. You know, if anything, the information that I have gathered over time has only solidified that stance that is a bunch of garbage. So I don't even entertain politics like that. I don't entertain Democrats, Republicans, you know, or what they call Jesse Ventura called them Democrats and Republicans. You know, he called them the real gangs right there. You know, straight up. Jason, peace, what's happening? Infinite Charms, peace, my sister, what's happening? Goldie, what's happening? Dominique, what's happening? Peace. What's happening? Yeah, so I didn't get involved then. Don't plan on getting involved now. What I mean by getting involved is just paying attention to the lies, the deception, the manipulation. You know, they making all of these promises and saying all these things that they're going to do, that they're going to focus on, knowing good and well that they just a mascot, you know, and they can only do what the unseen hands tell them to do. You know, the boosters, the people that's putting, the lobbyists, the folks that's putting the money behind these campaigns. So all these politicians, they have lobbyists that fund their campaigns. That's what they have. They have money that's backing them. They have people that's putting money behind the campaign. If they don't have these lobbyists funding their campaigns, then they can't do what they doing. So these people gonna only spit out a rhetoric, or they gonna only push an agenda that supports the people that are paying them. Flat out, politicians are paid off just like any and everybody else. So I don't even know why we entertain this as black people. Every 4 years, we get caught up. We get caught up in it. Like, come on now. What'd you say, Lindell? You said I've always said racism in politics is the main separation with the races. Although I want to be segregated anyway, for sure, man. Hey, what they say, politics is war without guns. That's what they say politics is. You know what I'm saying? And when we say war, we don't mean war amongst the politicians, because I've always told y'all that politicians or politics is really like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get on this camera. When the camera comes on, we act like we hate each other. You know what I'm saying? We giving this illusion off like we trying to kill each other. But then when the cameras go off, we the best of friends. We on the road 24/7. So two people that appear as enemies on the camera, when the cameras are off, they best of friends. That's what politics is. The war is on the people. So the politicians out here lying, but they only fulfilling the agendas of the people that's paying them in the unseen hand. And a lot of that agenda affects us. It affects us. It affects us. It affects us every time. Hence why every 4 years we looking for a savior, because our condition appears to not be getting much better every 4 years. So we looking for somebody to save us every 4 years. That's why we tapping in to these debates. That's why we going out here saying vote or die. Like, that's why we hold these perspectives. If you don't vote, then you're part of the problem. That is the reason why we hold some of these perspectives, man, because our conditions are not improving. So we need somebody to come along and save us. So that's why every 4 years we tapped in. We tapped in. We try and listen to the broken promises, the fabrications, the deceptions, the manipulation. We listening. We tapped in. And I don't care what neither one of these devils have to say. I don't care at all. Again, somebody please tell me which politician, which president has been solely responsible for transforming the lives of the original people of the planet Earth. Please give me one. And don't get on here lying talking about Abraham Lincoln freeing slaves. Like, if you start talking like that, then I'm going to know you haven't done your research and things along those lines. We done had a select few. Who tried to semi do some things for black folks. And they ended up getting killed, and some things ended up happening to them. You know what I'm saying? So we done had a few of those cases where some of them politicians tried to speak on our behalf, or at least they saw what was happening with us and they felt some type of way. And some of them then got dealt with. But for the most part, if we want or expect our condition to change, we got to do that ourselves. I'm not about to put all of my trust into a politician, somebody that can be paid off, that is already paid off. And the only way that they gonna tend to our needs is if we put money behind them, and we still can't even really trust that. Hence why Ice Cube was calling himself sitting down with him and all that good stuff, you know? Ice Cube, like, look, if we gonna play this game, if we gonna deal with this system, then hey, at least let me sit down and talk to him and see if we can put some pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? Claude Anderson talks about that in Powernomics, man, just how the game works, and if you really want somebody to get behind you, then we got to pull our money together and we got to put our money behind a politician if we want them to really do anything for us as a people. If not, man, we got to do this thing on our own. Like, for real. Kill Peace, what's happening? And that's my solution to the situation. We didn't relied on this political system more than enough times. Like, we didn't relied on this system more than enough times. I think it's time for us to kind of disconnect, at least from the two parties, because we are we actually feel like we have to choose between the two parties. Like, you feel like you either got to go with the Democrats or the Republicans. Like, no, you don't have to do that. Y'all not about to force me to choose behind the two most popular parties and then tell me I have a choice. Man, that's an illusion. They gave you these popular parties and they told you got to associate or align yourself with one of these sides, and then tell you that you have a choice, freedom of choice and all this type of stuff. Nah, they gave you two parties and said, all right, now you got to either be or align with the Democrats or the Republicans. Like, no. How about neither? Like, come on now. How about neither? Because when we trace the origin of both of those parties, we gonna find some racist origins. we gonna find some big racist origins when it comes to both parties. And that's just an actual fact. A lot of stuff that Democrats be getting credit for, it's like when you trace the history of them, man, it's some foul origins. The Democratic Party, the Dixiecrats, all that type of good stuff, man. Especially in their relations with black people, original people, whatever you want to refer to us as. So both parties had their wrongdoings. But now people just associate that with the Republican Party. Now racist white folks get associated with being Republicans. So now if a black man sees a racist white man, he gonna automatically assume that he's a Republican, as if Democrats don't have that same type of history. As if Democrats don't have that same racist foundation, i.e. Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, and what they did to black folks and how they view black folks. Hillary also. 3 prime examples right there in your face. And black folks was riding to the death for Bill Clinton, for Joe Biden, and for Hillary. We was riding hard for those 3 people that I mentioned. We was riding hard for Hillary. Boy, I never forget. Y'all wanted Hillary to win so bad. Now, mind you, I don't care for either one of them. I don't care. I didn't care for Hillary. I don't care for Trump. I don't care for none of them. I don't care for any one of them. But what I'm saying is, the black folks was going hard for Hillary, wanted Hillary to win big time. Wanted Uncle Joe to win big time. But then when you trace the history, you find wickedness. You find racism. You find all of that good stuff. So we act like that doesn't exist in that party as well. I remember that. Y'all know y'all had people in y'all families that really wanted Hillary to win. Y'all know y'all had it. Y'all aunts, y'all cousins, y'all grannies and grandfathers and mothers and fathers was all like, man, we need Hillary to win. Y'all know it. I had it all in my family that everybody wanted Hillary to win. Everybody wanted Uncle Joe to win. Everybody was telling me Bill Clinton was really the first black president, all this type of good stuff. I remember that. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget all the co-signing black folks was doing for Bill Clinton at the time. And I was a young bull, but I remember it. I still remember it vividly. Come to find out, man, come on, man. Come to find out the war him and Joe Biden, boy, pushed on black folks, particularly black men. Like, as a black man, you should have no love for Bill and Joe Biden as a black man. Like, as a black man, for sure, you should have no love for Bill Clinton. No love. No love. If you are a black man, you should have no love for Bill Clinton. You should not be speaking highly of Bill Clinton at all. Nor Joe. Nor Hillary for real at all. But Bill and Joe was creating policies and laws that was responsible for locking an enormous amount of black men up. Oh, King me, that hey, you already know. You already know Obama gets no love from me. Obama can be a cool dude. The Obamas can be a cool family, but he ain't no dirty mascot. They mascots, he mascots. It don't matter. And they only, as I've always said, they only gave us Obama because they messed around and gave us George Bush twice, George Bush Jr. twice. George Bush wasn't supposed to be in there twice. That's when people start catching on and tapping into maybe this thing is rigged. Because I remember that clear as day. I remember being in school when George Bush was going up against Al Gore, and I remember vividly, like, they had us do like a fake vote in the school. And I mean, nobody was rocking with George Bush. I mean, it was clear as day. Everybody that I knew was like Al Gore. Man, I ain't know anybody that fooled with George Bush at the time other than folks where he was from. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Nobody fooling with George Bush, man. They rigged them votes. We could tap in with Florida. Y'all know what happened with Florida when it come to the George Bush and Al Gore election. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't even got to tap into that conspiracy because it really ain't a conspiracy. It's the truth. So they rigged the game and gave us Bush twice. So they was like, all right, man, black people starting to question the system. So we got to give them something. Gave them Obama. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them this blackface. That'll shut them up. That'll shut them up. That's exactly what happened. George Bush wasn't supposed to be in that thing twice, and we messed around, got that man twice. First of all, because they needed George Bush to thoroughly execute 9/11. Like, he was the perfect person for that. He was the perfect person for the whole 9/11 orchestration to be fulfilled, So they needed Bush to carry out some things, So people started catching on. They was like, all right, let's go ahead and give them Obama now, and that'll make them forget about what we just did. I mean, the timing of that, man. Let's go ahead and let's give them Obama now so they can forget about how we rigged these votes. And we still rigging it for Obama, but let's go ahead and give them this blackface. Let's go ahead and let's give them a real cool family, and that's going to pacify them. It's going to make them forgive us. It's going to make them trust the system a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to have George Bush come in here, carry out all this nonsense, man. George, it's a lot that went down when George Bush was in that thing. You know what I'm saying? They Patriot Acts, all this type of stuff, all these laws being passed. It's like, all right, cool. Now let's go ahead and give them Obama real quick. And as soon as Obama get up in that thing, man, they dropping bombs in some African countries. Soon as they put the original man and the original family up in there, they start bombing African countries. Like, all right, cool. We gonna give them this blackface, but then let's go start bombing African countries. Like, that's what they was on. So somebody give me a good reason, because I ain't heard one yet. Somebody present me with a valid reason as to why I should associate with either one of these parties, with any of these parties. Somebody give me a good reason. Y'all keep talking about, I remember that. Who was that? Was that Diddy that actually coined that term, vote or die? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Diddy that he either coined it or popularized it? I don't know if he came up with it, but he sure was riding for it. He sure was riding for it, man. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I can't thoroughly remember. But I feel like P. Diddy was the one that was pushing that vote or die real hard. Like he was the one that was popularizing it. And anything Diddy pushing, I'm already suspect. But yeah, why y'all got me out here thinking if I don't vote, we gonna die? Like, bro, they killing us anyway. They killing us anyway. Y'all voted. Listen, y'all voted, and George Bush still was selected, and people still died. 9/11 still happened. It don't matter what y'all do. It don't matter what happens. How many times Obama voted? How many young bulls got killed by the police when Obama was selected? and y'all voted. Did that stop the police from killing us? Did that happen? Did the selection of Obama, I ain't gonna say election, did the selection of Obama stop them from shooting us when we was unarmed? Did that happen? Did that happen? Somebody let me know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I was under a rock. But did any of that happen? Did that stop us from getting harassed by this system, from getting harassed by the police? Did that happen? Because for some reason, a lot of people around me, at least, was naive and gullible, thinking that something like that was going to magically happen. Because an original man was in the White House. First of all, the White House. It's like, come on, we could break down the symbolism of all of that. But I had people that were naive enough to believe, ooh, okay, we got a black face in this White House. That's going to change some things. No, it's not. No, it's not. But somebody let me know. Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know, man. Maybe I was under a rock. Maybe I was under a rock, you know, and that's I'm trying to pull up something. I'm trying to see if I can find something real quick before I even continue to elaborate. You know, I wish they had a list somewhere, man, of all them innocent black lives that were taken while Obama was in this office. Not saying it was Obama's fault. What I'm saying is the system is going to be what the system is going to be, no matter who is the mascot. Like, straight up. Like, I know one time I had saw a list of all the names, man, of all the black men and black women that were killed by like the police while under Obama administration. Like, it was a long list. Like, it was crazy. I was trying to find that list, man, but I can't find it right now. But when I find it, I'm gonna definitely tap in. I'm gonna definitely tap in and plug it in. But yeah, man, like that, it was crazy. It was crazy. Know thyself. Peace, peace. What's that, Javon? Peace. Oh yeah, King, me, you already know. Hey, the blood suckers of the poor. The blood suckers of the poor. And we got to understand what poor means. When we say somebody is the blood sucker of the poor, we have two aspects of that. You know, you got financially poor and you have mentally poor. You know, so you got plenty of original people that might be, I'm not even going to say that they might be in the middle. I ain't gonna say fully wealthy, but let's say rich. You have plenty of black folks that's rich when it comes to material items or just finances, but they poor in the mind. So those black folks that's rich with their finances but poor in the mind, that 10% still applies to them in regards to the bloodsuckers of the poor. They still poor, they poor mentally. So it's easy to lead them in the wrong direction no matter how much money they got. You know, when you poor in the mind, it's still easy to lead you in the wrong direction. And that's what the bloodsuckers of the poor do. And people hear poor and they just think wealth. They think finance, all that. No, poor in the mind. They need people that are poor in the mind so they can easily lead their minds in the wrong direction. So then they can capitalize on their pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they do it. So that's what poor is, man. It's levels to being poor, man. You could be poor financially, but you could be poor in that mind. You can have a lot of money in the bank, but you still poor mentally. And if you poor mentally, I don't care how much money you got in the bank, it's still easy to lead you in that wrong direction. Flat out. Like straight up. Straight up. Yeah, King me for sure. Pouring both ways. And even them billionaires, they still pour into mine. We already know the breakdown of the people that ain't pouring into mine, very small percentage. But we got to stop being easily led in that wrong direction, man. I would be doing my great elders and ancestors a disservice. They didn't put in all this work to educate me and open my eyes to what's really going on. The moment I assign myself or align myself with any one of these devils, man, I'm doing them a disservice. I'm disrespecting Khalid Muhammad. I'm disrespecting Malcolm X. Like, I'm disrespecting these guys, man. Hey, boom. The way I look at it, it's okay to get mad. At the end of the day, life is about balance and life is about ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying? It's a book. They got a chapter called Righteous Rage. At the end of the day, as long as we know how to channel that anger in the right direction, nothing is wrong with it. And I can still, listen, that anger, that frustration, it ain't going to be permanent. I might be angry for a second, then I might tap in with something make me laugh. But it ain't nothing wrong with it. We just got to channel our anger in the right direction, which is our problem. We channel our anger a lot of times in the wrong direction. And I was talking to one of my clients about this, man. And after the session, man, I was building with him on some plans I had for uniting and unifying the people. A lot of times I said, man, Black people, we got to learn to put our differences in our back pocket, as Malcolm X said, and we got to come together for the common cause. A lot of us don't even realize that we be saying the same exact thing. We just use different words to say it, and we will argue about the words that we are using to say the same exact thing. Like, that makes zero sense. We are admitting that we have the same common enemy, but we want to argue about, well, I ain't Black, I'm a Moor. Bro, we saying the same thing and we talking about the same type of people. So why are we arguing? Why are we wasting time? When both of us came together and realized and admitted and acknowledged that this system is a problem. But we want to argue about what we calling each other, what we calling folks that look like us. That's what we want to spend more time arguing about. Man, I don't have time for that. That is beside the point. I don't care what you call us, because we was everything. So I'm able to bypass that. And I'm willing to work with anybody that's willing to work with me, no matter what your affiliation is. These white folks don't necessarily be liking each other, man. They don't always be cool, but they know how to come together for a common cause. It's that simple. They know how to come together for a common cause. We got to start doing that. Instead, we get angry with the system and we take that anger home and we take it out on the people that's closest to us and ourselves, what they would call self-hatred. So we really be mad. We really be mad at the system. We really be mad at how we got discriminated against on the job, but we don't want to take it out. We can't take it out on the job. We can't take it out on the white folks. So then we at the crib and we just waiting. It might be something slight. Like your lady might have sneezed the wrong way, and now you mad at the way she was sneezing, and now you going off and spazzing. Well, it ain't the fact that she was sneezing that way that got you annoyed and irritated. It's what happened at the job that you weren't able to address, and now you was just a ticking time bomb. So you were just waiting on something to annoy you so that you can snap. And unfortunately, you gonna snap on the wrong person that don't even deserve it. No, let's snap on these white folks. Let's snap on these people that's actually causing the anger, instead of sitting with that anger and then going off on somebody who don't really even deserve it. That's what we tend to do, especially us brothers. We do that way too often. I ain't even gonna say especially us brothers. The sisters do that now too, because these sisters are gaining these positions in these corporations now that they are very proud of, not even realizing the racism in that. Not even realizing the Willie Lynch in that. These Black women ain't even realizing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not even realizing. They thinking, yeah, we out here getting a bag. We out here getting these jobs. We out here getting these degrees. Man, they doing that on purpose. They don't care about you. They trying to keep the black family divided. So yeah, they finna bring you in here. But if you think you about to get a promotion over Sally, nah, it ain't happening, fam. It ain't happening. If you think you about to get a promotion over Connor and Brad, it's not happening, fam. They just gonna give you the promotion over me, over Javon, over King me, but they gonna give you the promotion over them. That's what they gonna do to keep us divided. That's what's happening. So y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all on that high horse thinking y'all really doing something, and y'all really are not. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that's all part of a plan, part of an agenda. You know, so y'all are part of an agenda, and they were executing it nicely. Got y'all brainwashed and confused. You know, straight up. And women don't be wanting to hear that, but it is what it is. They'll be like, oh, you just hating this, that, and the third. Nah, it ain't hating. I understand history. I understand the politics of what's going on and why they doing exactly what it is that they are doing. You know? We know the game out here, man. We know the game. We've been studying this game for a very long time. It's obvious as to what is going on. When you look at a lot of these industries, black women are rising through the ranks. And every time you see something like that, you got to ask yourself, well, why is this happening? Where are the black? It's a book. Wesley Muhammad got the book, Understanding the Assault on the Black Man in that chapter. Where are the black men? Where are all the black men? This is a question you got to ask yourself. What's happening to the black man? Well, we were just talking about Joe, Joe and Bill. Some of the policies that they done created will explain what happened to some black men at that time. So this war on black men it's got black women brainwashed and confused. So I encourage a lot of my sisters, man, to educate yourselves. Listen, just like if we want to gain a better understanding of the black woman, we study the black woman. You study something, you study somebody when you want to learn about it. Some of y'all sisters need to study the history of the black man, especially in the United States, because that's where we are at right now. Study the history of the black man, and it will give you a better understanding. It will provide you with some clarity in regards to the current state of the black family today. So when I hear a lot of sisters talk, I don't hear a lot of sisters sound well versed in regards to the history of the black man in the US of A. And how there were a lot of policies, rules, and regulations designed to keep us out of the mix. What are we to do? What is a family to do when rules and regulations are created that says, hey, we will give you this assistance as long as this man is not present? Who was that I was watching? Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was like, man, when he was with his moms, I don't know if he was in Seattle, I don't know where he was at, but he was like, it was him and his moms him and his moms and his pops, they were trying to get an apartment. And he was like, man, they would not give them an apartment while the pops was present, man. So his moms had to get the apartment on her own. That's the only way that they was able to really get an apartment. As long as they knew the man was present, they wouldn't give him no apartment, wouldn't give him the assistance. So as long as Ken Griffey had his pops, Ken Griffey Sr. in the picture, it was hard for them to get any type of assistance. It was hard for them to get anything. But then when he removed himself from the picture, then that started opening doors for the woman. Come on now, that's by design, family. That's by design. You gonna enslave a group of people, then you just gonna one day say, all right, boom, y'all free to do whatever it is y'all want to do, and y'all really not though. And then expect for them to just know how to fend for themselves after you didn't enslave them for how many years, knowing that they're going to essentially come back to this system. You know what I'm saying? Stockholm syndrome. Then you're going to give them both low-end jobs. You're going to give the man a low-end job. You're going to get a woman a low-end job. And then expect for them to be able to really feed their families. Come on now. Come on now. And then won't provide them with any type of assistance because you like, well, the man is present. The same man that you won't give any type of good opportunities to, that you just enslaved for how long? Once again, you know what I'm saying? Ain't got no skill, ain't got no trait because he was enslaved to you for how long? Now he got to take the lowest of low jobs, and he got his wife. He want to take care of his family, but then when they show up trying to get some assistance, they can't. Jasmine, what's happening? So the only way they can get it is if the man is not present. So now, all right, as long as we got a broken home, we can get some government assistance. Come on, man. By design. Okay, cool, exactly. And now, hey, it's about the bag. It's about the bag with everybody, but yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely about the bag, especially with a lot of what they would call content creators on here, man. A lot of times it ain't necessarily even about the truth, because we know the truth to get you canceled, censored, demonetized, you know. So everybody is about getting monetized, you know, and staying monetized. That's what it's all about. So they not really even caring about the truth. They caring about what's going to get them the views, what's going to get them the super chats, what's going to get them the donations, all of that. You know, they trying to be on that type of time. So I don't expect for a lot of them to be well-versed when it comes to the history of the black man. You know, I got plenty of books behind me that's solely dedicated to understanding the black woman. They got a book called The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman. You know, I got plenty of books behind me dedicated to understanding the black woman. If I want to gain an understanding of black women, I go to the source. I talk to the black woman. I read about the black woman. That is what I do. If I want to gain an understanding of something or someone, I go to the source. Sisters, y'all got to do the same. If you want to gain a thorough understanding or a better understanding of the black man, then do the knowledge to his history, man. Then y'all gonna see how we got to where we at, man. And how a lot of this didn't revolve around us just waking up one day deciding that we just gonna be trash. We just gonna decide to get locked up, all this type of stuff, start murdering our own. Like, y'all gonna see where all of that stems from. And I say y'all gonna see as if I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. Most of y'all are not going to do that type of research. And that's really unfortunate, you know, because that will solve a lot of problems. It will solve a lot of problems, because you're gonna get, like I say, you're gonna gain an understanding. You're gonna get a better understanding. You know, when I'm studying the black woman and I'm gaining a better understanding of this European standard of beauty and how that affects the black woman, how that got the black woman striving to look a certain type of way, and she might even be unconscious of some of these things that she has adopted from chasing that European standard of beauty. So now when I'm tapped in, I'm able to point this out, I'm able to look at it, I'm able to see it. I'm able to bring some things to her attention that she may not even be privy to. And if she open to learning, then that's going to be game changing right there for her. If she not, oh, well, I'm going to keep it pushing. You know, but when I'm doing the knowledge to the black woman, I'm able to understand some of these things. I'm able to understand why she gravitating towards some of the things she's gravitating towards. Instead of me just looking at it like, man, what is she on? That's stupid. No, let me gain an understanding. I'm not going to call it stupid if I don't understand it. Let me gain an understanding of it. I gotta better understand this particular person. So let me study this person. Let me study the person. So y'all got to do the same to us. But social media, that made everything a money grab. So don't nobody care about like research and all that. Lost art. Nobody really cares to do that anymore. Ain't nobody really nobody is strive. It's almost like healthy eating. Fam, if these doctors and the pharmaceutical industry promoted healthy eating, then they would be out of a job. Same thing with some of these content creators. If black folks, if the black man and black woman really unified, y'all would be out of a job. Y'all wouldn't have nothing to talk about. So some of y'all, like, listen, our dysfunction is y'all job. It's the only way y'all getting paid. So if we unified, if we came together, then y'all would have absolutely nothing to talk about. And y'all would lose money. So y'all got to keep us divided, and y'all got to keep stirring up and promoting and pushing the dysfunction, because that funds you. There is no money in the unification of black folks in your world, when really it actually is. They want y'all to believe that, but it's a ton of money in the unification of black folks. I done seen it with my own eyes. I done seen it. Matter of fact, we worth more unified than we are worth when we are divided. When you unify the black folks, man, we are worth way more. We are worth way more when we get everybody, when we get majority of the people on similar pages, on a positive vibe. We actually worth more that way. But they got y'all believing otherwise, fam. They got y'all believing otherwise. And that's a sad reality. Sad reality, because it's a ton of money in our unification. I done seen the beauty. I done seen the beauty of black people coming together. I done seen it, fam. We just had an event in the St. Louis area where I'm at, man. I couldn't even get there, man. People was parking on the shoulder of the highway, fam. Over 6,000 black folks came together for this event, man. I seen it. Unity. Well, no fight. Nobody got shot. Nobody got killed. It was all unity, and it was all peace. Man, it was so peaceful, even the cops couldn't fool with it. And this was on the white side of town. Bro, I seen it. I didn't seen it, man. I didn't seen our glimpses of us coming together and how powerful we can be when we come together. I done seen it. So when people act like that's impossible, man, we ain't gonna never come together, man. I'll keep that negative energy away from me, because I've seen it. I've been in rooms. I've been in places where black men, I just had a session with my clients. It was like four or five of us black men. We were in a building, and we were building. It was no disagreeing. It was no fighting. It was nobody about to pull out a gun, shoot, kill nobody. It was all peace. We was throwing information off of each other. Wasn't arguing or nothing, man. It was lovely. Fair exchange. Brother tell me something I might not have known. I tell him something he might not have known. Then this brother chiming in. It was peace. We ain't cutting each other off. We ain't trying to out-talk one another, man. It was beautiful. And I done been in plenty of environments like that. So when people be out here acting like we are our own worst enemy, we don't do nothing but X, Y, and Z, that's BS and that's garbage. It's almost like the same when we start critiquing people that, man, black women ain't this, black men ain't that. Nah, it's the black men, black women that you choose to be with. Same with what I'm talking about. It's the black folks that you choose to hang around. If you saying something like that, it's the black businesses. It's the black businesses that you choose to support that are the problem. When y'all say, see, that's why I don't support black business. No, it's the black business that you choose to support. There's plenty of black businesses out here with great customer service, with great products, all of that. I know plenty. I'm one of them. I ain't never had no complaint. You know? So again, it's the black businesses that you choose to support that might be trash. But don't throw them all in the box and say, man, see, that's why I only be your own people. That's why I don't like doing business with black folks, this, that, and the third. Because you did business with a shady one that you should have known was shady, because they showed you all the traits of being shady and you still supported them. That's your fault. That's your fault, fam. You know, you chose to overlook the shady qualities and work with dude anyway. You know how many times I done had conversations with people and that came out where they be like, man, I've been trying to support black people, but man, last time I tried to do it, it was X, Y, and Z. And then I start asking questions, and then it comes out that, yeah, man, he really ain't even certified or qualified to be doing X, Y, and Z. I say, so you shouldn't have been supporting them in the first place. You were supporting somebody because they was cheaper or whatever the case may be, and you got what you paid for. You got what you paid for, you know. So people be telling on themselves, man, all you got to do is let them talk. But we got to stop being on that type of time with our own people. I hate that, you know, because again, I've said this a million times. I done got bad service dealing with the Asians. I done got bad service dealing with the Arabs. I done got bad service dealing with the white folks. I got bad service dealing with the black folks. So I'm going to criticize everybody equally. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to act like that's why I don't fool with black businesses, because y'all be having attitudes and this, that, and the third. I didn't win in white play. But then even with that, though, let's look at some of the differences, man. Now, I get it. When y'all go to fast food restaurants, things like that, food y'all shouldn't be eating anyway. And y'all go into on the black side of town, right? And y'all be like, oh man, I went to the McDonald's, which you shouldn't be eating anyway. I went to the McDonald's on the black side of town, and all them workers had attitudes, wooty woo woo woo. I ain't tell y'all to work there. Cool. It might be some merit to that. Then they turn around and say, well, in the white neighborhoods, they don't act like that. Why would kids, young white teens in white neighborhoods have attitudes? First of all, their neighborhoods are not as dangerous. Second of all, they don't need that job. Like when you go to a McDonald's in a white neighborhood, probably nobody in that job needs the job. They don't care. Like they probably going to the crib to some mansion still. Like they doing this for the fun. When you go to the McDonald's on the black side of town and you see young folks working in there, man, they need every penny of that job. And they working like slaves for that change. When you go to a place on the white side of town, you are no longer in the slums. These folks ain't stressed out. So yeah, they gonna have better attitudes. Hell, I would have a better attitude working if my environment was better. Fam, so we gotta stop being so quick to critique our brothers and sisters. Man, and just keep planting positive seeds. Man, I never cut up when I go anywhere. Fam, especially in a black neighborhood, I never cut up. Because I already know what it is. I never cut up. If anything, I'm just gonna give somebody positive energy. First of all, because I done worked in banks, I done worked in retail. You know what I'm saying? So I know how rough the game can get. You know, I know how it feels to be the only teller at the teller line doing transactions, and it's a packed bank. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping nobody catch an attitude with me. You know, so I know what it is. I know what it is because I done been in that field. You know, so I never distribute that energy nowhere. You know, so that gets you a long way, and that might help that person out. You know, so we be getting nasty with these folks, not really understanding the half, man. We don't know what folks done been through, fam. We don't know what folks done been through, man. I don't hold nothing against them folks, man. You know, them black people, when you go to a McDonald's in the what they call hood, that's different than going to a McDonald's in the suburbs, fam. Them people not pressed for that job in the suburbs, man. Hey, you might be listen, some of the white folks that's working at the McDonald's in the suburbs might be the children of the owners of the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be in a situation like that, man. They mom and dad might own the franchise that they working for. That's why they got the job there. So yeah, I wouldn't have an attitude either, man. If my mom's now, they own this McDonald's. I'm cool. I'm chilling too. Yeah, I ain't gonna have no attitude. I don't care about nothing. So yeah, my attitude is gonna be pleasant. Opposed to, man, I gotta work 3 or 4 jobs, and this one of them just so I can keep the lights on. Our experiences are completely different. So I hate when people compare the workers at a McDonald's on the black side of town versus the McDonald's on the white side of town, the suburbs. Man, that's completely different. Completely different. And I'm not justifying folks having an attitude, but if I'm gonna act like I don't understand why it's a possibility that they may not have the best frame of mind or the best state of mind, I'll be naive, I'll be ignorant. Trust me, I get it. I get it. Matter of fact, when I was working in the bank, fam, that was the experience. When we would have these meetings, when I worked in the bank, man, when I go to these meetings where it'd be like tellers or other people that had my position, when I started to climb up the ranks, when I would go to some of these meetings that we had to go to amongst all the branches, one thing it was quite a few times where I heard some of the older white women or some of the white women in general, they was either older or they was around my age or a little bit younger, tell me flat out that they didn't need the job. Had same position I had. And they like, well, I don't really need this job. Yeah, I don't really need this job because my father owns this, and this. I don't really need this job because my husband owns this, and this. That I heard that plenty of times. All while all us black folks in here, we trying to work hard for the money. And then I hear you say, well, you don't really need this job. I'm like, oh, okay, must be nice. But I heard that plenty of times. Matter of fact, I never forget when I was in college. It was this white girl in one of my classes. I never forget it. They asked her, they was like, they basically asking us, why are we in college? Why are we here? You know, what are we looking to gain from our college experience? And I'll never forget, this white girl stood up and was like, well, I'm just here to experience the college, like the party atmosphere. She was like, because I don't really need these degrees because I'm going to just work for my father because he owns several businesses. And I forgot what the businesses were. She stood up. She was like, the only reason I'm here is to party because I'm just going to end up working for my father, taking over his business. I'm like, there we go. You know, we working hard in this thing, studying, trying to pass all these exams. And she like, I'm basically just here for fun. Because I'm still going to end up making more than everybody in this room. Because my father owns this business, that business, and that business. So you just here for the experience. You here for the fun. You here for the party. Come on now. Different experiences, man. Different experiences. Very different, man. Very, very, very different. King, me, man, 100% in full effect. In full effect. And people don't understand white privilege, man. And then I always get the people, I call it Captain Obvious. I always get the folks who like to be real obvious and say things like, well, you have poor white people too. Or you have white people that are struggling too. As if I am dumb enough to believe and think that every white person in the wilderness of North America is a millionaire. You know, so you have somebody who has to be Captain Obvious. Well, you have, what about the poor white people? You know where there are all poor white people out here? Of course. But all you have to do as a poor white person, all you have to do is clean yourself up. Listen, if it's a poor white person, if it's a poor white man, and then you have me looking like how I look, if somebody put some money into that poor white man and say, look, clean yourself up, I'm gonna buy you a suit, you're gonna get your haircut, whatever the case may be, and we both walk into a job, this poor white guy and somebody to clean him up versus me looking how I look. We both walk into this job for this interview and we both do well in the interview. Who is getting that job? 9 times out of 10, let's break it down in percentages before somebody tries to be obvious again. Let's break this down. 9 times out of 10, who is going to get that type of job? We both went in there, right? You know what I'm saying? They cleaned him up. They took this poor white guy off the streets, cleaned him up. And then I'm walking in there. I'm qualified, you know. I put on my suit. He got his suit on. And we both do well in the interview. Who getting that job? Who walking out of there with that job offer? Who walking out of there with that job offer, man? Y'all know the answer to that question. Like, let's not even act like this ain't a thing. I didn't experience this. Man, I'll never forget at my mom's job. Like, this how crazy the racism. At my mom's job, fam. My mother, you know, been working for gonna retire from this place, fam. So I'll never forget, I done graduated, 2 degrees, all that type of good stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. It's some years in the game. I'm still not finding any job that's related to my degree field. Crazy. So I'm like, boom, a marketing position opens up at my mother's job. My mother has a good reputation at this job. Great reputation. I mean, great. So I'm like, boom, marketing position. And it's an entry-level marketing position. Something I'm qualified to do based on the description of the qualifications. I'm qualified for this job. Of course, I don't want you to hand me this job. Cool, I know it's going to be other candidates. Boom. So I apply for this job. I ain't even asking my moms for no favors. All I'm asking her is like, well, who is in charge of the marketing department, this, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop. You know, so I, boom, fill out this application for this marketing job and my mother's job. Get granted the interview. Go on the interview. Talk to this white dude, and it was a white dude. The white dude was like the head of the marketing department. I think it was a white chick at the table with me. So instantly, I'm like, all right, here we go, which I'm expecting this anyway. But I got a white man, got a white woman. And I'm going to tell y'all this story. The white woman, I feel like, was so nervous. Fam, she knocked over the coffee. Fam, we sitting at the table, man. This white chick so nervous, bow, she knocked the coffee over the table and messed up some paperwork. That's how nervous. This white chick was so nervous sitting at this table with me, she done knocked over her coffee. I'll never forget that, man. I'm sitting over there, man. I sit down, boom, this white lady, I'm talking to her, bow, knock over the coffee. That's nervousness, man. Nervousness. But that happens. She knocks over the coffee. We laugh about it. Ha, ha, ha. Here we go. You know, so now we had the interview. I'm killing this interview. Now, I know you know when you done had a good interview because I done messed up some interviews. I'm not I don't like interviews. You know what I'm saying? So I know I done messed up some interviews. But this is one of them interviews where I felt fully prepared for it and I knocked it out the park. Killed the interview. So I'm like, boom, I leave this interview. I hit my mom's up. I'm like, I said, I think that went pretty well. It was good look. I felt it was a good little connection. You know, I feel like I should go to whatever the next level is, whatever the next step is. I'm like, man, I think I did that well. I'm being naive. I'm trusting the system. I'm trusting these folks. So I hit the moms. I'm like, man, I did well. So I tell my mom, like, man, look, whatever you can find out or whatever you can do to help the process, hey, try to do that. Boom. So it's weeks going by. I'm hearing nothing. I'm receiving no emails. And my mom's asking me about the emails. I'm like, no, I ain't got none yet. I'm like, you ain't heard nothing? And she like, nah. So then probably like a month and some change after this interview, boom, my mom hits me up and was like, I think I reached back out to him or something like that. Like I reached back out to him. I think I sent them an email, a follow-up email after I hadn't heard from them. And they had told me something about they choosing to go in another direction with the position. So I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. So then I tell my mom, I shoot that to my mom's like, well, they said they going in another direction. So I tell her, hey, see if you can find out who they hired. So then, man, this might be about some days later. My mom's comes back, and she tells me they just hired some young white chick. Might have been fresh out, might have been fresh out of school. Didn't even have the qualifications nor credentials that I had. There was no way this white girl was more qualified than me. And my mom's told me that straight up. Wasn't no way she should have got that job over me. Some young white girl. So instantly I knew what just had happened. You got this white dude, this white man that's the head of the marketing department, and he had this young white chick in this interview with me, and he hired another young white chick. What is that? What's happening here? Y'all can piece that together. What's going on there? This is even deeper than racism, fam. He trying to manipulate and control them young white girls. So he ain't like, man, he was like, I can't hire no young black man. I'm about to hire these young white girls. So I'm getting overlooked simply because this white man wants to hire these white girls so he can groom them and probably getting sex from them and everything. Wouldn't put it past him. Because I was like, that's why I'm like, man, this white girl is looking a little too nervous for me. Why is she at this table, fam? You know what I'm saying? She really did not serve a purpose at that table. She was at that table knocking over coffee, but it was like her existence served no purpose. You know, so I was like, man, something is odd here. And then, mind you, My mom's told me months after they hired this white girl for that position, she ended up leaving. So I was like, yep, should have hired me anyway. So that was crazy. That was crazy, man. And that didn't happen to me more than a few times, but that was with my mom's job. My mom's working at this job for a very long time. That's why we always say you can't pass down a good job to your children. Fam, it was not, my mom's been working at that job forever, got a great reputation, but it was nothing that my mom's could have did to get me on that job. Because she don't own the job. We don't own the job. I don't care if she's a supervisor at the job. Like, she didn't have any pull in the marketing department to get her son on. So we can't pass down these good jobs unless we are at the head or the president or the CEO of these jobs. Then we can have a little bit more pull. Straight up. You can't pass down a good job. You can't. You having a good job don't necessarily benefit your kid other than you supporting them and just funding things they trying to do. Other than that, man, that you having a good job ain't gonna equate to them getting a good job at all. It ain't gonna help them in no way, shape, or form, no matter how good your rep is. It may only be a select few times where it actually helps and works. But my mom, it wasn't nothing she could have did to give me that job because that white dude already knew from the jump he was gonna hire he wanted some white girls on the menu. You know what I'm saying? He wanted some white girls on the payroll. He knew that from the jump. And she ended up leaving anyway. So I'm like, now you look stupid. You should have gave me the job anyway. But it is what it is, man. That's why we got to create opportunities for ourselves. So I stopped relying on them. I stopped letting this system depress me because that's what was happening, fam. I'm applying for all these jobs. I'm getting denied all these jobs. Don't understand why I'm getting denied all these jobs. I'm killing some of these interviews. I'm more than qualified. I did what y'all wanted me to do. I'm still not getting these jobs. And these politicians, they always crying about, or they always promising more jobs, this, then the third. You know, and I did exactly what these politicians wanted me to do. I accumulated student loan debt. I went to y'all institutions, got indoctrinated, had a great grade point average, and that amounted to nothing. That amounted to absolutely nothing but student loan debt. I acquired debt. That was it. That was it. That's what happened. I acquired student loan debt. I'm in the hole. Like, I am in the hole. Like, that's where we at with that. You know, I went to go get indoctrinated, found myself in the hole, and now here we are. Straight up. You know, so I did what y'all wanted me to do. And what did that do for us? And this was under the Obama administration. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when I was looking for that employment. You know, this was under the Obama administration. I'm getting discriminated against, you know, and I'm more than qualified and all that type of good stuff, you know. And I'm facing the discrimination while they got a black man in the White House and I can't even win. Y'all told me I was going to win when dude got up in that thing. Like, all right, man, that's going to open up the door for black people. Now we can do anything. Well, why am I still getting discriminated against? I'm doing everything supposedly right. Y'all told me to go to school. Y'all told me, hey, higher education. That's the way. Get your education. Get your education. Get you a job that you can live happily ever after. Like, that's not how that went. It's not how that went for your boy at all. And that whole experience had me traveling down a road of depression. Because all I was striving to do was get in the door somewhere, man. And I kept getting the door slammed in my face. So I say, all right, man, let me go ahead and let me tap in. You know, the black man, we gotta create our own opportunities. We gotta truly do for self. Truly, we gotta do for self, man. You know, if you stand for anything as a black man, they slamming all type of doors in your face. All type of doors, man. So if you want something to happen, man, you got to do that on your own. You know, I learned that then. I was trying to play the game. I'm talking about I'm taking low-end jobs that I should have never taken because I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm trying to be legit out here, you know? So I'm taking jobs I should have never taken, man, like lowballing myself, degrading myself, fam, taking these garbage jobs that I shouldn't have taken. But it was what I did what I had to do. And I didn't complain. You know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do, and I was finding a way out the whole time. Whole time. And now I'm where I'm at today. You know, and the ownership is only going to get stronger on my end. Like, remember that I said that the ownership is only going to get stronger on my end. You know, we going to keep building. We're going to keep building 100%, fam. Matter of fact, I want to show y'all the book for today. This book is very helpful right here. Accelerated Manifesting, 7 Hidden Secrets to Supercharge Your Reality, Rapidly Shift Your Identity, and Speed Up the Manifestation of Your Desire. Accelerated Manifesting. Grab this book. See, this is what it's all about, man. I'm trying to help people program the mind. I'm trying to help Black folks reprogram our minds so that we can accelerate the manifestation process and acquire this wealth first internally, then externally, and then we can start really taking over. Because again, we are all in the system and it's a game. So we gotta know the rules to the game. Once we learn the rules to the game, we master that game. Or we could just create our own game, however we want to do it. But we gotta reprogram the minds first, man. We gotta adopt the positive mental attitudes, fam, towards one another. And that's towards ourselves first, then towards one another. And that's when things really gonna change for the better. Now I say, hold on, I hold it up right here. Boom. Accelerated Manifesting. And Anthony, you say what were some of the jobs? Also, peace, bro. How are you doing today? Hope all is well. Now, you talking about some of the jobs that I took or some of the jobs that I got denied? Because I only had a few jobs, but the first job I had, man, I worked at Target. You know, and this wasn't no, you know, I'm throwing a truck at Target. But in my mind, y'all had told me this is where I was at with that. You know, so I did what I had to do. I'm throwing a truck at Target. I'm unloading the trucks at Target. After y'all had told me, you know, this, I'm just being like, again, hypothetical. After y'all had told me, well, once you get these degrees, then you should walk into this type of job. So y'all had told me once I get these degrees, then this type of stuff gonna open up for me. I'm doing a job that I could have did without the degrees. And then they promising me stuff that didn't necessarily come to fruition while I'm at this job. So I say, man, all right. You know what I'm saying? I say, all right, man. I'm like, all right. Y'all done told me I should be in all these different types of fields. I'm like, man, I could have been working at Target. I could have been working my way up. I didn't need the degrees for this. I could have been working my way up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have did that. You know, it ain't even no knock to the job. What I'm saying is, y'all done told me I'm gonna get these degrees and it's gonna equate to something. It equated to something I could have been doing without acquiring student loan debt. And then I ended up working in the banks. And the only reason why I got the 2 banking jobs that I got, the only reason, and I swear by this being the only reason I got the 2 banking jobs that I got was because the managers were Black. And they were on the Black side of town. The last bank I worked at was literally in one of the worst parts of St. Louis, fam. Like, if I drive y'all through the area where the last bank I worked is at, y'all gonna be nervous. Y'all can't even ride through there at night. Promise y'all, if you ride through this part of town at night, you getting robbed, you might get killed. If you a woman, you might get kidnapped and raped. You might get kidnapped and raped. That's the last banking job I had in corporate. That's the last job I had in corporate America. I was working at a bank in the trenches, fam. In the trenches. I'm talking about in the trench. You got crackheads coming into this bank. I cannot lie to y'all. That is the last banking job I had. That is the only reason I got that. Because I'm going to give y'all a Jew. This is how I noticed the only reason I got that. Because at that same bank, I applied for the same position I had. At that bank, I applied for that same position a year before, but it was on the white side of town, on the wealthy side of town, and I did not get it. And my credentials and my experience did not change. I had the same experience when I applied for that same position on the black side of town in the trenches, and they gave me the job because nobody else wanted that job over there. Nobody wanted that job over there. So they gave me that job because it was in the trenches. So I worked at a bank where it was like, man, it ain't no tell. They trying to drive off with the ATM. Like all type of stuff was going on, fam. All type of stuff was going on over there, man. But that's the reason I got that. And the first banking job I got, dude had the same, they was a black dude, had my same name, everything. I knew I was getting that. And again, that was right around the corner from where I grew up. Right around the corner from where Michael Brown was assassinated. That's where I grew up. Like I grew up like walking. I used to walk the path to where Michael Brown was shot and killed all the time as a kid. So the first banking job I had was right around the corner from that. And I knew I was going to get that because it was a black dude, had my name, and we clicked instantly. Bow. So I knew I was getting that. Them the only two reasons I got it. Only two reasons I was employed was because I was on the black side of town and a black woman hired me. And then I was on the black side of town again, and the black man hired me. But I applied for the same position at that last banking job on the white side of town. They told me, nope, couldn't get that. So I done faced all type of nonsense, man. And that stuff started to get to me. So I was like, man, I got to put some things into motion because obviously I can't be dependent upon this system. It's just going to frustrate me, you know, because I couldn't like, nah, I ain't like them folks having that much power, man, to determine how I feed myself and my people. I ain't like that, man. I did not like that. I felt that was slavery to me, man. They controlling my worth. And that's how I felt like they able to dictate how much I'm worth. I ain't like that. I ain't like it. So I say, nah, I'm gonna have to change the game up real quick. And that's exactly what I did. And I haven't looked back since. And I promise you I will never look back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to dealing with the system. I'm not going back to dealing with that discrimination and racism. I faced it heavy. I ain't going back to that, man. I'm not ever going back to that. I promise you. You know, I'm going to strive to build black way, the original way. I'm going to strive to do that, you know, and I'm striving to put my people on. You know, I'm striving to create gym chains, and I can employ my people to manage these gyms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm on. You know, forget whatever the popular gym is on your side of town. Like I'm striving to replace that. You know, we got gold gyms, things like that. Like I'm striving to make a black version of that. You know, and I'm employing all my people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm on. You know, my original thing was libraries and things like that. You know, juice bars, all that type of stuff. Like I'm striving to be on that, creating these chains so that I can employ my people instead of waiting for a politician to do it for me. Nah, like I'm striving to do that for myself and for my people. I'm trying to put my people on, get them healthy, get them in shape, but then also employ them. That's the next step, and that's the next level. Employ my people so that we don't have to beg, you know what I'm saying, this system for jobs and employment opportunities. Like y'all come to me and be like, man, my son just turned 18. He ain't got no direction right now. Just imagine that. And then I got a gym chain in your area. And I'm like, man, tell them to go up to Almighty Fitness Gym and fill out the application. We're going to put them on. We're going to start them off. We're going to start them off doing X, Y, Z, cleaning up the equipment, making sure the equipment's straight. We're going to pay him this. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to work his way up so he can eventually manage to get his own franchise. Man, imagine that. Imagine us if we doing it like that. One of y'all hit me up and say, man, I got my little something, man, my son, he got his head on straight, he just don't know what he want to do, whoopty whoop. I got a gym in your area. Let's get it cracking. Go ahead, tell them to go. Go ahead, tell them to go ahead up to Almighty Fitness Gym and wherever you at. And then boom, we're gonna start him off with this. We're gonna pay him enough to where he don't have to go out here and be dealing with the streets. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pay him enough to where he ain't got to go deal with the streets. We're gonna pay him enough to where he should be able to earn a decent living. You know what I'm saying? He's be able to afford all the things he needs to afford and take care of, plus a little bit more. We're gonna pay him enough to keep him out of the streets. But we ain't gonna pay him enough to where he gets content. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pay him enough to keep him out of the streets, but we ain't gonna pay him enough to where he gets content. Let him know that, man, is hey, if you want more, it's what you gotta do. But we gonna pay you enough to where you can take, if you got a little family, you can take care of that family and still have a little bit to splurge. But man, if you really want to take care of the family, this is what I need for you to do. Then in 5 years, 3 to 5 years, if you do everything we saying, then you'll have your own chain. And now you making 6 figures. That's what we got to start doing. That's what we got to stop doing. That would have eliminated so much with me. I'm trying to find employment and I can't. And so if I would have known somebody that was plugged in, they could have been like, man, just come on over to woo woo, get you some experience. Here we go. Because I was willing to work, obviously. So this is what I'm striving to be on. I feel like that's part of the solution. And I feel like that's one of the ways we got to set ourselves up for success and the future up for success. For sure. Like that's what we got to do. So again, I ain't worrying about these politics and all they promises. Man, I'm putting in the work to change the conditions. What they say, be the change that you want to see. Like I'm doing that. I live by that. Ain't wait for no politician to come around and change something because they're not going to do it. They are serving the interests of the lobbyists that are paying them. I'm not paying them. Hey, Melanin University, let's get it. Matter of fact, let's not even say, I want my own gym. Let's speak it into existence like it's already done. I have my own gym. That's how we speak it. We ain't even gonna say what we want. We gonna speak it like we already got it. I have my own gym. I have whatever it is. Speak it like you already got it. Speak it like you already are in possession of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you do it. Speak like you are already in possession of it. You already got it. You already got it. You know what I'm saying? I want or I need. No, I have. I have it already. I have it. You know that's how you get it. Speak it like it's already done. I tell my people that I train, man. Whatever your goal is, live like you done already accomplished it. Man, look, you come in there, you want to lose 40, you want to lose 100 pounds, buy clothes that'll fit the version of yourself that's 100 pounds lighter. That's motivation. Because you can't put them clothes on that, so you done spent all this money, but you can't fit the clothes now. But this is fitting your future self. So every day you got to wake up and see these clothes that you can't fit. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to push you to work harder. Stop buying clothes to fit your current self if you want to lose weight. That ain't how you do it. Buy clothes to fit the amount, whatever the amount of pounds you strive to lose. Buy clothes from here on out that will fit that person. Every time you buy clothes to fit the person that you are now, you set yourself back. You need to lose 50 pounds, whatever size that is, those are the clothes you buy from here on out. Those are the clothes you buy. If you want to gain some weight, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go from a medium to a large, buy larges from here on out. Stop buying clothes like you still a medium. No, buy clothes like you that large now. Because you want to gain, you're going to put on this muscle, you're going to hit this large. That's how you do it. That's how we do everything. Live like you done already accomplished it, fam. And y'all, with that being said, man, I feel like, again, it's a powerful build. I got to get myself together, you know, head back up to this gym, tap back into this book. Once again, I'm going to show y'all, hey, it's a great, y'all can read this book in a day probably, man. Real simple read, man, but they drop some jewels, man, to just give you some good pointers and some good practices, man. I already did one of the practices, or I did two of the practices in this book, man. It's already game changing for the kid. But grab this book right here, man. Go on Amazon, grab this joint ASAP, fam. I promise y'all, this book is a game changer. I'm halfway done with it. So I could imagine how much I'm a vouch for when I'm fully done with it, you know? So grab this book, man. This book is important. This book is very important. But, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Thursday. I might try to tap back in with y'all tomorrow. Who knows? Y'all never know when y'all going to see me. You know, I got to be mysterious. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the love, all that good stuff, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all stay healthy. Hey, it's hot where I'm at. I don't know how it's feeling where y'all at, but make sure y'all stay hydrated. Get them fruits and vegetables in and stay cool. Stay safe out here, y'all. Hey, and stay dangerous at the same time. Balance. But I'm out. Y'all be easy. Peace.